Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of LD Knows. I am your host, LD, and I am here to teach you some things you may or may not know about your computer. For this tutorial, you will need to have Windows 7 installed properly on your computer to get an understanding of what I'm talking about. This is the Windows 7 desktop, and as you can see, I have some icons over here. This is your start menu down here, and I'm going to show you a few little things that are on here so you can understand what to do with this stuff. The first thing I want to talk to you about are icons. These are icons. As you can see, there are a few of them on my screen. Each program has a different icon corresponding to what it is. This is the iTunes icon. This is Google Chrome. This one's Mozilla Firefox. This one's Audacity. I've got all kinds of programs. These are folders that have files in them that you can open up by double clicking on them. To make a new icon on this screen, what you must do, there are a few ways you can do it. You can right click here, go to New, and create any of the things that you see here. For this episode, I'm going to make another folder just for testing. You can create a new folder by clicking on Folder and then changing the text to what you want it to say. This is a basic create of a new folder on your desktop. Now you can go ahead and move things from the desktop to that folder just by dragging them over the folder and letting them go. So that's one thing you can do with the Windows desktop. Over here, this is what they call a Windows gadget. As you can see, this is our dollar standing up against the euro and the Chinese yuan, or whatever they call it. This is something that came prepackaged with Windows. To get that on there, what you need to do is right click on the screen and go to Gadgets. Gadgets will open up a small screen like this, and you have all these neat little gadgets that you can show on your desktop. So I have the currency one. I like the currency one on there. I don't know why. It's always bad news, but you can get that. There's the weather. You can put the weather on here. Now it's going to tell me what the weather is in New York. This is telling me how much CPU my computer is using at the moment. There's a whole bunch of them online, so you can get more if these aren't the ones you're looking for. And they're simple as once they're on there, to close them, all you got to do is click the little X and they go away. That's the deal with Windows gadgets. Now let's get to the taskbar down here. This is your start menu. This is your taskbar, I mean. The start menu is over here. We'll get to that in a second. What this is showing is all your icons that you want to click on when you have programs open. So if I go into a browser here, and instead of going back to the desktop and looking for an item, I can have it pinned to this taskbar and open it at any time. How I do this is I take an item like Audacity here, I click and hold, and I drag it down to the taskbar. It's going to say pin to taskbar when you do this. When you let go, it's going to be there now. Also, if you right click on it, you can unpin this program and it'll go away. Right clicking on these things will give you a few different options. So if you right click here, it'll tell you the recent pages you've been on, the most visited, what you've recently closed. This is a new window. Or you can unpin it and it'll go away altogether. So right clicking on these things gives you different options. Over here we have our time and date. This is generic. If you roll over it, it gives you a full thing. If you click on it, it'll pop up the calendar, which you can switch through by clicking on these little arrows to the left and right of it. It also tells you the current time. And if you don't believe that's the time and you want to change it, you can do so by going into here and changing the time to whatever you think the appropriate time is. Not that you need to do that, and if you do that, there's probably something wrong with you. Okay, other things you can do on here. You can personalize. you get to your screen resolution, which is more advanced for users, but you can make it's on your screen bigger and smaller. I'll show you what this does. 1600 by 1200. What I've done is I've made the screen have bigger icons on them. This is not the recommended resolution for my computer. My recommended resolution is 1920 by 1200. But you keep changes. So that's one thing you can do. You can personalize, which will bring up a screen. Now this can go on forever. I mean, these are themes, things that if you want to change the desktop background, you come down here and you click on here, and you can change the color. There's the colors. You can go to Windows desktops. You can change it to one of these. There's pictures. Down here, you have these options to make it different. You can tile the image. Well, that one I think it was made to do with just that size. So, but you can shuffle. All these images will shuffle, and so in 3 minutes, this is going to change to another image. You can make that change to 10 seconds, all the way up to 1 day. It can only change once a day, and that's pretty cool, I think, with the shuffle thing. So you can make your computer a basic one of those. You make like a a screensaver, basically. Let's see, what else can we do here? Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Colors, black, save, thank you. Okay, another thing we have down here is hidden items. These are things that are running in the background as you have your computer going. This is your Windows Update icon. This tells you what devices you have hooked up to your machine. Like right now, I have a DVD drive and an external hard drive. This is where you go when you want to disconnect certain objects from your computer. You would click on it. It would then disconnect it and tell me that it's ready to be removed. Safe to remove hardware. So now I can unplug my external hard drive. This is your volume control option right here. So this is what you use to change your volume, make it go louder or softer. This is your internet. This is your connection information. This tells me that I'm connected to my wireless modem right now, and it's a pretty good connection right now. So that's what that does. Once again, I wouldn't mess around with that stuff too much if you don't know what you're doing. It could get pretty messy. And finally, over here, excuse me, we have my start menu. This is the start menu for Windows 7. And it's a pretty advanced start menu, and I'm not going to go crazy with it because I'd be here all day. But basically what we've got here, these are programs that you've installed on your computer that you most frequently use. These are programs that you've used a lot, and then there's programs that you don't use a lot, which are in here. This shows you every program that you have on your computer. So you can go through these and it'll tell you what kind of programs you got running, and also this shuts down your computer, or you can click on this little thing here and it won't shut it down. It'll do a switch or a log off. It'll lock the computer, so you have to type your password back in. When you come back in, it'll restart it. And this here is pretty cool. If you can't find what you're looking for, all you have to do is start typing away in here. So if I'm looking for Audacity, I'll start typing it in here, and it'll find it for me. It'll put it on top here, and it'll tell me to go ahead. You can open it from there. So over here you've got your documents. This is where you usually put your Word documents and your pictures. Go into here. This can be where your music goes. This is your main computer. This opens up the file tree and everything. You got some default programs. This tells you what devices you have hooked up to your computer. And finally, help and support, which is probably you're better off trying to shoot yourself. But yeah, so that's Windows Desktop for you. This is the end of this episode. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you very much.